Welcome back. We're joined now by CGW's contributing editor, Hillary Brugan, who's here on a regular basis to bring, I think, some great clarity to the game. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about this time, we are sort of in that middle part of the season now. Clubs are starting to have their member guest tournaments. There are things that get people invited to private clubs that maybe they're not members, or maybe they don't have experience at this club. And there's always that sort of tiptoeing that you have to kind of do around a new situation. You're very good at making those passages a little easier. How do you do it with as little stress as possible?
Well, first thing, Dave, just like we can't pick our families, we can't pick our hosts. When someone invites you to the club, you've got to hope they're a good host, because it all starts with the host. The host should do the right things, which is let you know when to arrive, when is the range open, where do you drop your bag, how do you go about all the preliminary golf logistics. No cell phones, the right attire, the right times. That should all come from the host. You have to hope. However, not all of us can pick a great host. So if that doesn't happen, number one factor, like a lot of things in life with regard to business, be on time. If you can be a little early, then you don't have to worry about can you find the first tee, can you find the bag drop. So my tip is be early. Then you relax, because we all know with golf, being late and harried and tense is not going to help your golf game.
Never helps.
So if you're not going to play well if you're tense. And I think scope out as much as you can beforehand. In other words, call ahead to the club if your host has not let you know all of the logistical details. A lot of member guests also have parameters in terms of what you should wear, i.e. it may be a themed tournament, like a big Independence Day tournament where you need to be in patriotic colors. And some other themes, I think women's tournaments tend to have themes more than men's, but I think that's very important that you come according to the theme. Business golf is very important too. A lot of the charity tournaments where you're arriving at a country club know those clubs' rules in terms of, you know, is it carts on the path? Normally there are announcements made, but you might be talking to somebody while the announcement's made. Something else might go on. So I would say scope out the club ahead of time, be relaxed, and get there early. And there are always secretaries of the clubs to call and say, I've got some questions. And they'd be more than happy to do that. And you're doing your homework, you're going to get there, and it's that stress thing. There'll be less of it if you know what's going on. Correct. Those things apply, as you very well pointed out, too, to those business situations that we talk a great deal about in here, where you're playing either with a peer or maybe with the boss, something like that, where there's an awful lot of pressure sort of inherent in that as well. Gee, I don't want to do the wrong thing because I know I'm being scrutinized the whole time. Right, you are. And I would say, actually, bosses don't want to play with their subordinates too much of the time because they're afraid of that fear factor of failure in front of subordinates, so they'll often prevent that from happening. What's prevalent, I think, in our business community also are the sales situation, where you're taking somebody out, you're either trying to make a direct sale or this is a business bonding experience. And I say again, the same rule in terms of be there early, be relaxed, but be as considerate as you can about that person's expectations that day. If you can take care of their expectations, because you can't control their game. You can't control what you can't control, and you certainly can't control your own game, or we'd all be on the tour. So control what you can control, Dave. And I would say when you're hosting someone you're trying to impress, be it the boss, be it a business peer, control everything you can in advance. That means, for example, welcoming somebody, making sure that you're there to host them, doing all the preliminary logistics properly. And if you're at a club where there's caddies, speak to the caddy first, speak to the starter first, make the introductions up front, and that way everybody feels so comfortable. They'll love you for making them feel comfortable. It's all about comfort, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is. And making people feel special, Dave. I think that's the difference I would say about our society. Capitalism versus communism. We don't all want to be treated the same. We want to be made to feel like we're special. Treat your guests specially. Treat the boss and your business peers specially. You always treat us specially, and we really appreciate it, Hillary. Thank you. Thanks very much. And thank you very much for joining us. That'll do it for this edition of Toyota's Capital Golf Weekly. We appreciate your joining us. For all our guests, the entire CGW crew, I'm Dave Lucas. Play well, and we'll see you right here the next time.